Welcome. I'm Mr. and Mrs. Trazzi. I am Dr. Meadows. Thanks for coming in. Today, I'm going to be speaking with you about your child. I know that none of you were expecting this, but your child actually has Down syndrome. Neither of you have the disorder, but it happened due to an abnormality during the meiosis stage. I know that this is hard news to receive, so I will be talking with you about what Down syndrome is and what to expect as the child grows up. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask throughout. To start off, I will tell you what Down syndrome is. Down syndrome is a congenital condition characterized by a distinctive pattern of physical characteristics including a flattened skull, pronounced folds of skin in the inner corners of the eyes, a large tongue, and short stature. When a child has Down syndrome, they will have mental retardation and an increased risk for heart defects and digestive problems. The protein for chromosome 21 is GERK21 subunit, which helps control excitability in many areas of the brain and contributes to behavioral and functional aspects of depression. Your child still will contain these features, but the extra protein in chromosome 21 will lead to learning and memory problems. This disorder is caused by abnormal cell division during the development of the sperm cell or the egg cell. The result of this abnormality is an extra chromosome in the 21st chromosome pair, or a trisomy, I should say. To help explain this further, I brought some images for some visuals. This first image you see here shows you the trisomy in the 21st chromosome. This is the cause of Down syndrome. And in this second image, this shows you the process in meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. It's when the chromosomes are supposed to split but don't, so they stack up on one side and form a trisomy, and this is what happened. Down syndrome is an autosomal recessive trait, and either parent can pass it on, although it is very unlikely that Down syndrome is inherited. The chromosomal abnormality occurs as a random event during the formation of reproductive cells in a parent. The abnormality usually occurs in egg cells, but occasionally occurs in sperm cells. This is called non-disjunction. It does not matter whether their parents are homozygous or heterozygous, and the parents who have a child with Down syndrome almost never have the disorder. I have a few Punnett squares to show you that will show you potentially how your child got Down syndrome, but keep in mind this is very inaccurate considering Down syndrome is usually never inherited. As you can see, you guys are heterozygous parents. The uppercase D is a normal allele and a lowercase d is an affected allele. During meiosis, these split, and the law of segregation says that two alleles come together to form, and when these two affected alleles came together, that's when your child got Down syndrome. As you can see here on the bottom, this is another potential outcome. In this one, there's two kids with the disorder due to two cases of two affected alleles coming together. If you were to have another child, there would be a 1 in 1,250 chance that if you had another child, they would have the disorder as well. Again, the Punnett square I just showed you cannot accurately show the chances, but your age, or cannot show the chances of your child having Down syndrome, but your age can. The chance of having a child affected by Down syndrome increases from about 1 in 1,250 for a woman who conceives at age 25 to about 1 in 100 for a woman who conceives at age 40. As a result of meiosis, sex cells are made. In your case, an abnormality during meiosis will cause the disorder, like I mentioned earlier. This resulted in an extra chromosome in the 21st pair for a total of 47 chromosomes. As you can see, this is another Punnett square. With this Punnett square, an uppercase D represents a normal chromosome, and a lowercase d is an affected chromosome, or an affected allele, sorry. When the alleles combine, that's when you get the results in the squares and the possibilities to have the disease. The law of segregation is when the gametes split from each parent. On the Punnett square, each letter represents one of the gametes. When they combine, they make a zygote. This shows that each parent gives the kids a set of chromosomes, therefore the kid will be half of mom and half of dad. Right here, this is when these splits, that process is called meiosis. Happens to both of you, heterozygous parents, meaning one normal, one affected. And when you guys come together, the law of segregation says that these two have to come together so you can be half mom and half dad. When the two affected come together, that's when the child will have Down syndrome. For your child's future, your child can live just like any other kid if they get help early in life to develop their skills. Most kids with Down syndrome are able to attend school with support from a teacher to help them through their day. Their academic progress depends on how much they can get done during school day, so their education might take longer to finish. People with a disorder are able to work if they have developed their work and social skills. There's a very small percentage of adults with Down syndrome that can work, and due to that, is a very small percentage of people with Down syndrome that can live independently because they often rely on others for help. And people with Down syndrome can actually have children too, so you guys could potentially be grandparents. But the child is expected to live to about 60 years, hopefully more. The child will have an increased risk of developing Alzheimer's disease and could also have endocrine problems, dental problems, seizures, ear infections, and hearing and vision problems. Due to these potential problems, the child's medical bill would be about $80 more a month and would cost an extra $18,000 in the first 18 years of life compared to a child without the disorder. Most kids with Down syndrome go to speech, physical, occupational, and educational therapy. I know that this seems really hard, but I actually worked with a kid named Keaton who also has this disorder. Some advice that I gave Keaton's parents was that he's the only one who will be able to show you that he will be able to do anything any other kid can do, just it will take him a little bit longer. Keaton had surgery before he was 2 years old to repair a congenital heart defect. His mom actually reached out to me recently and said that he keeps all of them entertained with his dancing and singing. He sings the Star Spangled Banner every year for his school musical, and anytime received an invitation, whether for a school board meeting or a high school volleyball game, he will tell you that he is a rock star and that he's happy to attend. He's happiest when he is making someone else happy by helping or serving. Just thought that I would share this with you to let you know that having a child is a blessing and that this will be one of the best things that has ever happened to you guys. Again, I know that this is hard news to receive, but I know that this will be a great experience for the both of you. Thank you for coming in today, and please feel free to reach out to me anytime.